Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I had done a few months ago a couple of videos on this Majestic Earth Tarot, and I tried to film them in the portrait mode, and unfortunately I was not able to edit using the portrait mode and have it still be able to be put on YouTube in a format where you could easily view it. So I've been dissatisfied with my two prior videos, and I wanted to just replace those two with one nice video, because this deck really deserves a nice video devoted to it. So this is the Majestic Earth Tarot, Storm and Wonder. It's a fine art tarot deck, and it's designed, or they say curated, and written by J. Hildegard Hinkle. She also did the Tarot of Delphi, which is another deck based on artwork. Majestic Earth Tarot is illustrated with fine art paintings of the most majestic places on Earth. The cards feature original artwork from the Hudson River School, Luminism, European Romanticism, Russian Realism, and the American West. And it's such a beautiful deck. I found this on Amazon. I just happened to stumble across it when I was looking at tarot decks. And about a week later I looked again and they no longer had it. So I don't know if you will still be able to find it out there. Maybe you will have to look on eBay to find a copy, but it's worth looking for. It's got this nice sturdy cardboard box with a nice lid. Very handy there. The cards are gold gilded. Okay. I'm going to set the box aside. We have a very nice little book. Very classic looking, very nice and stylish. And this is published in 2019. There's a little introduction and a little bit of information on the cards and the artwork. It's specific to each card. We've got keywords, and we've got the name of the painting that was used, and information on the artist and the current museum where you can find the artwork. So good information in the book. We don't have copies of the actual cards in the book, so you would have to kind of go back and forth to do a study using this book. Okay, and there are element cards also added. So there are cards devoted to earth, air, fire, water, and union. And let me see here. There's a guide to the court cards. The court cards in this deck are not page, knight, queen, and king. They are steward, rider, creature, and spirit. Little information in general on reading tarot. A little bit of reference on the artwork. A listing of her Kickstarter backers. I did not back this on Kickstarter. I happened to luck onto it. There must have been a few leftover decks and they were offered up on Amazon. Here we've got a little reference table of alchemical symbols. Okay, so there is the little book. There is a little, let's see, this is listing the artists who are referenced in the deck. The card back kind of matches the book, the artwork on the card back. It's a kind of a floral. We've got like daffodils and leaves. Very pretty, very earthy, very appropriate for the deck. The cardstock is very nice. Let's see, the size of the deck is actually pretty nice, in my opinion. It's not too big, but yet it's not so small that you can't really get a good view of the artwork. This card is one of those element cards that are kind of an extra bonus with this deck. So this card is Union. Very pretty. Looks like Earth meeting the sky. This is Fire. And I believe the trees are meant to represent wands, which is the fire suit. This, of course, is Water. Got the little symbol here down in the corner. And here we have Air. And this card is Earth. And you can see the orientation of these particular cards is in a landscape orientation, whereas the rest of the deck is in a portrait orientation. So here we have Spirit of Water, which would correlate to the King of Cups. We've got some keywords at the bottom: breathtaking, sublimate, ingenuity, and impact. I kind of like keywords in my decks. I find it helps in readings when I kind of get a little mental block and my studies seem to fly out the window. I can look at keywords and it kind of helps jog my memory. Creature of Water, which is the Queen of Cups. Rider of Water, or the Knight of Cups. Ethereal, enticing, aspiration, and inward. And whereas the Creature of Water keywords are fluidity, kindness, lively, and depth. And here we have the Steward of Water, which would be the Page of Cups. Openness, reflective, immersed, and channel. So when I did my other videos, I really had wanted to give you a really good view of the cards, and I thought by changing my camera orientation to portrait, it would be a better view for you, but I don't think it was worth the hassle and not being able to edit the video. Here we have 10 of Water, contentment, appreciation, happiness, and safety. 9 of Water. Look at that. My cup is overflowing. And that's the key word: overflowing, gratification, wellness, and fulfilled. 8 of Water. Walking away, new course, discontinue, and humility. 7 of Water. Daydreams, imagination, floating, and ephemeral. The 6 of Water. Memories, tides, innocence, and nostalgia. 5 of Water. Disappointment, partial loss, process, acclimate. 4 of Water. Stationary, saturated, dispassionate, and languor. You have somebody here. I don't know if you can see very easily. Someone just sort of, like you see in the regular Rider-Waite 4 of Cups, they're kind of jaded by life. Not too excited, not too excitable. 3 of Water. Merriment, healing, friendship, and gratitude. And there we see the figures that are sort of partying. 2 of Water. Romance, trust, cooperation, and union. Very good 2 of Cups there. Ace of Water. Nourish, joy, delight, and beauty. Okay, and then we're going to the suit of trees or wands. Here we have the Spirit of Trees, which would be the King of Wands. Magnanimous, persistent, expressive, and vibrant. The Queen of Wands or Creature of Trees. Formidable, protective, practical, and carnal. Here we have the Rider of Trees, which would correlate to the Knight of Wands. Excitement, headlong, adventure, and action. Steward of Trees, or the Page of Wands. Intuition, spark, initiate, loyal. This artwork is just so gorgeous and stunning. Ten of Trees, accumulation, harvest, responsibilities, and laden. And they have such a spacious feeling, but yet to get the feeling of the individual cards, sometimes you have to kind of zoom in on a small detail within the card. Like the Ten of Wands is generally in Rider-Waite represented as being overburdened or oppressed. And these are men that are working with their burdens of the harvest, but you really have to kind of get in close to really see that little part of the card in detail. Nine of Trees, endurance, resilient, interlude, and defensive. Eight of Trees, movement, messages, imminent, and haste. So normally in Rider-Waite you see the 8 wands kind of flying through the sky. You kind of get that impression with the flying birds up there. Here is the 7 of Trees or 7 of Wands. Surmount, vantage, exhilaration, exertion. So that would equate to the 7 of Wands. The card that's generally standing your ground, defending your territory, that kind of an idea. 6 of Trees or 6 of Wands. Jubilation, accolades, expectation, and good news. 5 of Trees or 5 of Wands. Competition, contend, championship, and rivalry. Then we have a jousting match. 4 of Trees or 4 of Wands. Celebration, peace, community, and plenty. 3 of Trees or 3 of Wands. Enterprising, venure, negotiation, and foundation. 2 of Trees, maturity, success, thoughtfulness, and somber. Very thoughtful. See the gentleman sitting here kind of in the stoneware there, the stone door arch. It's beautiful. Here we have the Ace of Trees, a spectacular redwood, Genesis, rise, sanguine, and vitality. Okay, then we move on to the suit of stones, or it would be pentacles in a traditional deck. Here we have the Spirit of Stone, or the King of Stone. Resources, stalwart, substantive, and supreme. Creature of Stone, or the Queen of Pentacles. Magnificent, graceful, abundance, and freedom. Rider of Stone, or the Knight of Pentacles. Hardworking, sensible, dependable, and duty. And the Steward of Stone, or Page of Pentacles, which I always think of as being a student. Communique, learning, critical thinking, and scholarship. Ten of Stone, ancestry, family, dwelling, and enduring. Kind of a legacy feel to that card. 9 of Stone or 9 of Pentacles, Well, we have the lady overlooking her garden, but she doesn't have a bird, unfortunately. I love that bird in my Nine of Pentacles. Independence, discernment, self-awareness, and affluence. Beautiful, beautiful art. I think if I lived where that lady did, I would spend my time on that patio overlooking that view as well. Here we have the Eight of Stones, or Eight of Pentacles, productivity, labor, handiwork, and craft. And we see the workers down there. Seven of Stone, or Seven of Pentacles, rest from work, satisfaction, compensation, and reward. And there he is resting on his stick. The shepherd, he's got his animals in the distance there. The Six of Stone, or Six of Pentacles, measuring, charity, kindness, and giving. And it looks like they're feeding their chickens and geese, ducks. Very pretty. Five of Stone, or Five of Pentacles, hardship, refuge, dormancy, devotion. And there is a cross with Jesus on the cross in this card. Four of Stone, materialism, hoarding, consequences, and legacy. Three of Stone, expertise, renown, collaboration, and development. Two of Stone, in between, balance, daily life, and buoyant. And there we've got the suspension bridge. Just beautiful. Beautiful way the idea is conveyed through a picture, the similar idea, but yet a different symbolic picture of the idea. Here we have the Ace of Stone, protection, prosperity, flourishing, and felicity. And that would be equivalent to the Ace of Pentacles. Just beautiful. Then we move on to the Suit of Clouds, which is the equivalent of swords, representative of air. Here we have the Spirit of Clouds, or the King of Swords. Clarifying, decisive, proficient, and gauge. Here's the Creature of Clouds, or the Queen of Swords. Perceptive, piercing, tenacity, clever. Rider of Clouds. It's kind of difficult to see the rider in there. It's dark, but I'll bring it in for a close-up for you. Rider of Clouds, assertive, driven, risk-taking, and fearless. And that would equate to the Knight of Swords. Then we have Steward of Clouds, or the Page of Swords. And the keywords are observant, detect, discretion, and vigilance. The Ten of Clouds, or Ten of Swords, culmination, drama, conclusion, dreary. Nine of Clouds, or Nine of Swords, anticipation, anxiety, forlorn, and worry. And here we see the man struggling to climb up there. Here is the Eight of Clouds, or Eight of Swords, vulnerable, crisis, abandoned, and exposure. So a little different image from the Eight Swords encircling the woman, having her bound in there. Here we have the Seven of Clouds, or Seven of Swords, chance, hope, stealth, and scheme. And isn't that a lovely, lovely picture? Gorgeous. The rider there at the top. Here we have the Six of Clouds, journey, transition, persevere, and passage. So the traditional Six of Swords, where they're kind of sailing from into the calmer waters. There we have the passage. Five of Clouds, or Five of Swords, damaged, splinter, indignity, and loss. Four of Clouds, tranquility, vigil, seclusion, and repose. I really like this card. In the typical Rider-Waite image, you've got a soldier in a kind of a resting image, but it could almost be like he's actually not just resting, but actually dead. And here we've got like a crypt in the way that they were done in the classical era. So tranquility, seclusion, repose. The harp is beautiful. Very nice card. I like that one. Three of Clouds, or Three of Swords. Separation, lament, breakthrough, or potency. The Two of Clouds. Equilibrium, ruminate, dichotomy, and barrier. Dichotomy, we've got the two different colored birds there. Very pretty, the tide pool here. Nice card. Ace of Clouds. Intellect, zenith, intensity, and elevate. All right, so those are the minor arcana. Let me just set them aside, and we'll move on to the majors. It's kind of strange to go backwards through a deck, but kind of fun to do that every so often. Okay, I love this world. There is the world. Rejoicing, oneness, integration, and cosmos. Sort of an Adam and Eve type image. There we've got a person way down here, very tiny. If you can see the person in the card there. So these really are majestic in the depth of the image. The name Majestic really suits the deck. Judgment, and we've got the angel there. Transformation, renewal, liberation, and uplifted. The sun, attainment, optimism, radiance, and wonder. The moon, what a great moon card. The rocks and the peaks here almost resemble the howling dogs that you might see in a moon card. Apparition, obscure, precarious, and visions. It's just stunning. Aurora, which is the star normally, card 17. So instead of a star, we have the Aurora Borealis. Indivisible, truth, illumination, and inspiration. The Tower, a sudden change, disruption, revelation, or upheaval. Here we've got the great fury and power of the ocean. Really beautiful. Lightning bolt image. That's really stunning. And the Tempest. Untamed, severe, overwhelming, wild. And that's in place of the devil. Here we have Temperance. Very lovely image. Providence, harmony, serendipity, and patience. Death, dissolve, purify, subside, and egress. Kind of the flowing river out to the sea. The idea of death there. This is called Upturned, and in a regular Rider-Waite deck it would be the Hanged Man, and we're showing a vessel as it's being wrecked at sea here. The keywords are surrender, lifeline, submerge, and sacrifice. Here we have the Council of Law. We see an entire community here. Governing, equity, accountability, and justice. Instead of Wheel of Fortune, we have Whisper of Fortune, change, riddle, progression, time, sort of the time passages idea. The Hermit, and this is the image that's on the front of the box. Contemplation, solitude, introspection, beacon. Strength, instinct, energy, courage, and poise. The Chariot. Now instead of a land chariot, we've got seagoing chariots there. Ambition, triumph, momentum, and control. The Lovers. A couple of beautiful white swans. Commitment, intimacy, choice, and love. Here we have the Hierophant's domain. So instead of just the Hierophant, we have the Hierophant's domain. Structure, service, tradition, and doctrine. Instead of the Emperor, we have the Emperor's domain. Looks like the Grand Canyon. Indomitable, durability, realization, and formation. The Emperor's domain. Here is the Empress's domain. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful tree in a meadow with the meandering river at the other side. All the bounty of the flowers. Just lovely. Creativity, life, bountiful, and sensual. The High Priestess. Well, gee, they should have said the High Priestess domain. Knowledge, wisdom, sacred mystery, and awareness. You know, each card is just more beautiful than the one before it. Here is the Magician. Force of will, manifest, self-control, and skillful. And I'll let you see a little more close-up of the I mean, it's nice to see the actual image that relates to the meaning of the card, but I'm so glad it's more than just that. It's also this whole big picture here. It's just so beautiful. And the Fool. Unrestrained possibilities, spontaneity, and spirited. And there is the Fool. Perfect. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of a very beautiful, beautiful deck. If you can come across it and find it, go ahead and pick it up. I'm sure you'll love it. Take care, and we'll talk to you again next time. Good night.